The Victory Bell Trophy on the line at the Rose Bowl tomorrow. Trojans now laying 3. Was 2.5, now up to 3. Trojans can clinch a spot in the conference championship game with a win and a Colorado loss. Now, the Bruins have covered 4 straight since losing that season opener as a double-digit favorite. Meanwhile, USC, the only team in the nation to play at least 3 games and have them all go under. And for more on this game and all things college football, let's bring in the Bear, still at his cave because game day is at West Point tomorrow and just a driving distance away. All right, Bear, USC, UCLA, which side are you on here?
I'm on the Bruins. I think a lot of people have a little bit of a recency bias with what they saw from Keaton Slovis and that great Trojan passing offense on Sunday night. But I think you need to take the whole season into perspective here. They were very fortunate to beat Arizona State, very fortunate to beat Arizona. Utah turned the ball over a ton. So that has to factor into the handicap, I think. And this is a UCLA team that has gotten better at the line of scrimmage. Chip likes to call them the baby Bruins, and the baby Bruins have grown up at some point this year. They let a game get away at Oregon, they let a game get away at Colorado, but for the most part, this UCLA team is greatly improved, and I'm not so sure that the Trojans go nuts through the air on Saturday and get the win. I like UCLA here.
It's been weird trying to track this UCLA defense. Like last week, they obviously did well, but when they've played powerful offenses, they've been torched like Oregon. I like USC to at least put up points. I'm on the over 64 here. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I would agree. Like I said, I don't think we're going to see a performance from SC's passing game like we saw on Sunday, but I do think they'll hit a couple of big plays, and at the same time, I think UCLA will try and control the line of scrimmage, which should, I would think, create a couple of big plays of their own.
Last year, they combined for over 80 points, so maybe we'll have some similar fireworks. Bear, it's time for the best bet. What do you got in all of sports?
Yeah, I like Oregon State in college football. I like UCLA as well, but I'm going to go to English Soccer League One, and I'm going to go with Hull City. Hull is atop the table in the league. They let a couple of points get away on their previous match. They host Shrewsbury, who's near the bottom of the table. In order to keep pace at the top, maintain that lead atop the division, they should take care of one of the teams at the bottom of the table. So I like Hull on Saturday.
All right, good stuff, Bear. Always exciting. Get your soccer plays. A little appetizer before game day and before the games get going.
Exactly.
Tomorrow. Safe travels for you for game day, Bear, and we'll connect soon.
Thanks, Doug. Have a great weekend.
And tomorrow is the 121st edition of the Army-Navy game, but for the first time in 77 years, it will be held at West Point. Army laying 7.5. And look at the over-under, 37.5. Pretty low, right? How about lowest of any game all year? This game has gone under the total in each of the last 14 seasons, and the narrative on that is pretty logical. The defense is not surprised by the other team's offense, the double wing or whatever name you want. That doesn't surprise them. Other opponents throughout the course of the season have a week to cram. So you have a streak to consider. Now, as they say, if you bet on a streak, you can be right multiple times, but you can only be wrong once. You bet against a streak, you can only be right once and wrong multiple times. So what are you doing?
That Confucius?
Yeah, I believe Confucius came over that one, yeah.
I got a saying for you. It is un-American to bet unders. And this is the most American game of all, so we're going over 37.5. Now, forget the fact that I played an under in Florida LSU about 5 minutes ago. That's A block. That's behind us. 37.5. Now, we've seen 14 straight unders, obviously, but at the same time, we haven't seen 14 straight games that have featured 38 or fewer points. In fact, 6 of the last 10 games in this series have featured 38 or more points. So the points have gotten there. Navy's offense is dreadful. It's not a play I necessarily love, but I think this has gotten so low. The narrative's out there. Everyone's firing on the under because of the streak. Play a little contrarian play here, going over.
Yeah, unlike flipping a coin or maybe roulette or something like that, there is market correction in sports betting. I'm on the first quarter under, and it's 7.5, and anyone who live bets and does all this stuff, you know that on one side of 7 is so much more significant than like 6.5. I think if they punt, they go 1 first down and punt, you're looking at 6.5 as a live first quarter. Last year, 7-0. They had one of the teams had a drive that was 18 plays. 18 plays. So we're looking at a couple punts or just need to fade a touchdown and a field goal, something like that. Even a touchdown, we're under. So I'm under 7.5 because remember, offenses hurry at the end of the second quarter and fourth quarter usually. First quarter, doesn't matter. We can take it to the other.
Yeah, these guys are huddling, taking their time, 40 seconds here and there.
I like first quarter under.
All right,
let's keep it going with the college theme here. Stanford and Oregon State as we bring in Preston Johnson. Preston, for me, it all comes down to one guy, Jamar Jefferson, who in my eyes might be the most impactful non-QB to the point spread. He missed last week because of COVID. He is expected to play. He's at least been cleared. Stud running back, just an absolute blur on the screen. Where do you come down on this game here with Stanford playing some good ball coming in?
He's good, but a running back and the impact of a point spread, it's there in college football, but it's not significant enough to keep me off of a play when my numbers suggest I should be playing the other way, which in this case they do. I like Stanford. I took -2.5s that were appearing midweek. It went to 3. It's actually starting to go back and shade towards 2.5 again at some shops. So I think people can wait and get a -2.5 if they don't have to rush to lay 3. I like it at both prices though. Ultimately, Oregon State last week, look, their final score looks good at Utah. They lost 30-24. Backup quarterback making his first start, Chance Nolan takes over for Tristan Gebbia, who got injured in that Oregon win. Look, they had 10 points middle of the fourth quarter. Utah goes into prevent defense and they scored twice at the end. So it's a little misleading. And Stanford in general, look, they're hitting stride. They beat Cal, they beat Washington. They started slow. And I'm curious what Stanford Steve actually thinks about this. If we have him on later at all, we can touch on it. But this line, like Oregon State's program has been a few tiers below Stanford's for years. And it's their backup quarterback. This is straight disrespectful to have Stanford only a 2.5-point favorite against Oregon State, in my opinion. And Davis Mills, at quarterback, hasn't even thrown an interception yet this season. He's been awesome, completing 2/3 of his passes. I think this should be like 7, and we're getting 2.5. I love Stanford.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that in terms of it just feels like an old school Stanford team. The big guys, the offense is humming, Mills doing the play action. And I agree, Oregon State had no business being in that game. The first 3 drives for Utah, 3 field goals, 2 missed touchdown guys, wide open. 9-0. It should have been already a rout at 21-0, at least 17-0.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.